Well, welcome back as we continue to go through my bookshelf. I'm finding this really fun and it's kind of cleaning up my bookshelf a little bit, kind of straightening things up. So, we're going down to this end, and the next books that I have are by an author that I grew up with. Was one of is still and is still one of my favorites. Some of my earliest memories are hearing my dad read Grace Moves to Hell and my mom. These are newer covers, and I think they did such a good job because some of the old covers look like they hired somebody who did like as Harlequin covers, and they just told them, there can't be any wardrobe malfunctions on them. And they're just like, don't capture the stories at all. So I really like these newer covers. I'm collecting some of them. So right now I have A Christmas Bride, Beloved Stranger, Recreations, and A Prodigal Girl, and I really hope to get Beauty for Ashes soon because that's my absolute favorite Grace's Tale of all time. Right beside By Way of the Silver Thorns. So she wrote from the 20s all the way until the mid-40s. And I like a lot of her later works better. Some of her early works especially can be a little more shallow. God works on all of us, and I think that her later books really show some of the things God had changed in her. And but she's definitely a go-to author when I just want something just kind of status quo. Next, I have a Regina Jennings book. I actually have more of hers on my Kindle. This was a recent, I got for review, I believe late 2017, so fairly recent addition to the shelf. It was a kind of cute book. It's just one of those, if you watched my video on neutral review, you kind of have an idea about that. This is one of my favorites, and I must have lent out at least one of them because I have this whole series. This is by Sarah Laude, and this is her Whispers on the Moor series. And actually, I was an advanced reader for the very first published book, and I have loved her ever since. They're just really sweet, Jane Austen feeling Regency books. I actually read, I read A Lady of Willowgrove Hall, not that long ago, and then early this year, with an Audible trial, I got to read the audiobook of The Curiosity Keeper, and I really liked that one too. Her books are just very gentle, very sweet, not really hard-hitting. It wouldn't be what I want a constant diet of, but she's one of my go-to authors when I just want something really sweet. While I still I skipped this one. This is Angela Hunt's Dreamers. It is a biblical fiction about the story Joseph. I will be honest, most of Angela Hunt's books are not my favorite. I actually have met Angela Hunt. I adore the woman. I actually met her in 2007 at a writer's conference, and I thought she was just really sweet. I love her. I'm not really into her writing style. Feel bad saying that, because she has some fabulous ideas. And I loved this book. Definitely has some more grittier content. Would not recommend it for young kids or even young teens. But some of it, the story of Joseph has meant a lot to me throughout my life, and I really liked this fictional account. This is the only book in this is, I believe, a trilogy. I didn't like the others in the trilogy, but I really liked this one. So I kept this one, and still think it's a good story about good rendition. This is another one I have. I have not read it. There's Bookmark in it, which means I started it, but it's a one about the Revolutionary the Gathering Dawn. So we'll see if that's any good. This is one of my favorites. This is me and Anne Mateer. She's one of my absolute favorites of all time. I don't. If I say that a lot, it's because I don't collect a lot of paperbacks anymore. I get a lot of things that are just so-so on my Kindle. And I really don't keep paperbacks for ones that I don't really love. So these are, in essence, a lot of them, except the ones I haven't read yet, favorites. But oh, I do have the whole series. I didn't lend it out. My advanced reader copy of the first book is just back here. See? It's so pretty. And unlike some people, I think it's really cool that I get to have the advanced reader copy. I mean, But anyway, Anne Matier writes really very sweet books, and Playing by Heart is really good. I think I have reviews, I think, of all of her books on Goodreads, my Goodreads account. So, Wings of Dreams is my second favorite of hers. From My Heart, which I do not have, is my absolute favorite. And At Every Turn was also really good. And I have one of her novellas on her newest novella on my Kindle, so we'll see how that is. That last one on the shelf, we finally made it to the end of the shelf, is The River. And it's kind of an allegorical book, to be honest. And it's really cool. It's kind of ragged edged pages. I don't know if you can see it real well, but I thought that was really cool. I love this edition of it. This is one I got for review. I really liked it. Like I said, it's kind of allegorical. It's kind of hard to describe. Again, there's a review on Goodreads for that, and on my Amazon page. So I guess I'm going to smoothie over here. We're going to start over here. Exciting, go to the second one. Okay, this is a really cool plot. I'm into things Texas, as you may have guessed by some of the things, and Mom got this, and it's a perfect place for me to keep my glasses, my lens cloths, because I have to have reading glasses. My little Texas bear that was a gift from my mom. Is cute. And then you see one of my largest piles and collections is Siri Mitchell. And I have read Heart Most Worthy. Actually, that was one of the most recent Siri Mitchell I've read. That one was really interesting. It was written by an omnipotent point of view, which is not normal, bouncing around a lot. It took me a little bit to get all the characters straight, but it was really good. A Constant Heart, quite a bit of content that I would not recommend for young readers, but a lot of marital things, but I really liked some of the things. In fact, sticky notes to some quotes because I really liked it. It was a very powerful book. This one I thought was really fun. Actually, it's about two people who rival candy makers. So that one was fun. Absolute favorite of hers, The Messenger, which is Revolutionary War about a Quaker girl and a spy, and that was pretty good. This is my introduction to her, and I still think it's her best. These three actually, She Walks in Beauty, Moon Over Tokyo, and Chateau of Echoes, I have not read. This book is very special. My sister Grace bought it for me, and it is another one that's high on my priority list to read this year because, like I said, Grace bought that for me. It was a more expensive book, and I was really touched she spent the money on me. Behind here, I'm not going to pull them out because it's a little bit tricky and I think you're holding up some other books, is my D. Henderson collection. Actually, another gift from Grace. She was going to all Kindle, and so I grabbed them. She actually gave them to me. And the O'Malley series, which is, quite honestly, I think one of the better Christian fiction books series. They basically, each of them explores how different people come to Christ. It's just different stumbling blocks. And probably one of the best ones because a lot of Christian authors could fall into the same kind of gospel message and the same, not as in, but just have people come to God the same way. And I really liked, and I still think I said that wrong, because there is only one way to salvation, but how people approach in their stumbling blocks, what is keeping them from God is different. And I think that this series did a good job of explaining some of different people's hang-ups to it. I actually haven't read this one, and I'm not sure if I've read this one. Don't think I've read True Honor yet. And the Uncommon Heroes. I think I've only read True Devotion in that one. So honestly, I think Dee Henderson's best thing was O'Malley series. I haven't really loved anything other than the O'Malley series that I've read by her. So that puts us at about the 10-minute mark. Like I said, I like to keep these movies about 10 minutes because it can get really long and boring otherwise. Hopefully next week we'll finish up this shelf, and then we can get on to other book tips topics.